following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix, Brother Mike, back on the radio. Arizona, you're back on. This is it. Welcome to the radio program. Thanks for tuning in. Today's Bible study, deadly, serious, schizophrenia. The monster is coming. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them the radio program is on, particularly if they got somebody with schizophrenia in their family or a close relative or friend who has it? And you need to hear this program today. Huge. I'll make a couple of announcements while you make that call quickly. This is Brother Mike. I am the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're downtown, 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne, red brick building. We have our website, hardcorechristianity.com, shows all of our ministry services. Go to the calendar page, and you'll notice there that we have 2 live services every week, Thursday and Friday nights at 7 p.m. Arizona and Mountain Time. Both those services are live on youtube.com/House of Healing AZ and several other platforms. We have 2 Zoom healing and deliverance services every week, Tuesday and Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Arizona and Mountain Time. Send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com, and I'll send you the code, the ID code, and I will send you the password to get into the seminar. Of course, everything's free. My seminar on deliverance and healing is November 26th. The women's seminar for healing is November 19th. Big month at the Arizona Deliverance Center. Please hit the PayPal button and send us another donation. Please contact Sister Karen to list your house for sale. She's on the homepage of the website. If you need a religious exemption, I'll send you one out immediately. Send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com. I will also send you the step-by-step guide to healing and deliverance that works 100% of the time. The incredible miracle list. I'll send that to you ASAP. Schizophrenia. The monster is coming. Boy, he really is coming. As you well know, and you don't need anybody to tell you this. You don't need me to tell you. Mental illness is skyrocketing in the United States as Satan takes over the country. Person by person, city by city, state by state, county by county. He is destroying America. Here in Arizona, we are plagued with homelessness, which is a combination of 2 things, mental illness and drug addiction, both of which are, as they used to say in the 50s, kissing cousins. They are Siamese twins, joined at the hip. Okay? And in this country, things are getting incredible. I have, by the grace of God, seen schizophrenic patients completely and totally healed, but I've had very few of them completely and totally healed, and I'll explain the reason for that in just 1 minute. Schizophrenia, generally speaking, is not a dangerous mental illness, but it has increased significantly over the last 5 years, and the recent surveys from the CDC and other organizations now have determined that violence, the violent attachment to schizophrenia, is accelerating. And somewhere in the neighborhood of 11 to 13% of all murders and mass killings in the United States now are committed by patients who are SMIs. It stands for severely mentally ill, which includes severe bipolar and schizophrenia. And it is an increasing percent. It's an increasing percent. If you know someone who has schizophrenia, they have voices in their head which are actually demons. And the voices are either talking to them or they're talking to each other inside the person's head. And the schizophrenia demon is in control of all the other demons inside the person. He is, to use a biblical term, he's the strong man. He's the boss. He runs the whole show. He controls the other spirits. But schizophrenia spirits rarely get into people until they're usually in their late teens or their early 20s. But the demons that the person has let the schizophrenia demon in after a period of years. And the two main spirits that cause the schizophrenia demon to be let into a person's brain is rejection, number one. Number two, rebellion. The rejection demon enters the child's brain when they are young, preschool, grade school, and that rejection demon develops inside the person the fear of being rejected by others, self-accusations, self-hatred, insecurities, low self-esteem, jealousy of others, envy of others. And the rejection demon also lets in a lust demon so that the person has a relief or an escape from the torment of the rejection demon. What they do is it's like tag team wrestling. One fights for a bit, and then they tag the other guy. He comes in and fights. Well, the rejection demon tags in the lust demon. The lust demon comes in as a benefit to the person, giving them a temporary method of escape through adultery, through fornication, through pornography, through masturbation. And during that period of time when they're lusting, the person escapes from the torment of the rejection demon of self-rejection, self-hatred, low self-esteem, and insecurity. But then when the lust demon is done and the person's had an orgasm, the rejection demon gets tapped. He comes back in and he starts to torment and degrade and humiliate the person. Later on, the rejection demon lets in a rebellion demon, and that rebellion demon is stubbornness and accusatory. He accuses others. He causes the person to be selfish, self-absorbed, live in self-delusions. They see others at fault. They spot every injustice in the world you can imagine. And it's the rebellion demon that keeps the person from being delivered from demons and going for help to get set free from schizophrenia and bipolar and the other severe mental illnesses like borderline personality disorder. All these demons have similar spirits and they cause similar symptoms. Well, now you're looking at, from a societal standpoint, severe problems now occurring through patients who have schizophrenia. As I said, the FBI and the federal government estimates it's around 11, 12, 13% of all these mass killings are being accomplished by somebody who has a violent component attached to their schizophrenia. If you're working with somebody and they don't ever have any voices in their head, and the voices do not talk to the person, and they're not hearing the voices talking, they've probably been misdiagnosed. Okay, all schizophrenia cases have voices, demonic voices in their brain talking to them. And what happens is, over a period of years, the rejection demons, the fear demons, the lust demons torment the person so much, and they reach a terrible low that the schizophrenia demon is allowed to get into the person's brain. Once that happens, the person is done. They've got the person for the rest of their lives. The only possible way of getting delivered, and I've seen it myself, I've had some of them delivered, is for them to completely submit to Christ and be determined to follow the Lord and obey and go through long-term deliverance and it takes sometimes years to get all the demons out of the person who has schizophrenia. It's never a one-stop shop for patients with schizophrenia. The demons are too powerful, and there's too many spirits inside the person to have an instantaneous one-time deliverance. It's a long commitment by the person and the counselor, and the person has to stay at it on a regular basis, casting out layers of spirits, sometimes over a period of years. On the period of years. And recently there was an article came out on a YouTube video. It was called A Christian Reads and Classics YouTube Videos. And they profiled a woman named Stacy whose mother had paranoid schizophrenia. And this YouTube that I just mentioned to you, if you want to watch it, it's pretty interesting. It goes through some of the mother's symptomatology, and of course it was just absolutely awful. She had a severe case of paranoid schizophrenia, superpowered demons in her brain, which eventually took her life. The demons talked her into taking all kinds of medications and pain relievers, which eventually ate through her stomach lining, and she was killed. Stacy, her daughter, grew up with terrible emotional illnesses because of her mother's erratic and sometimes suicidal behavior, as this demon ran amok in their family, driving her dad to spend all of his time at the bar and driving her mother to be constantly committed to mental illness centers. Her mother, when the demon would take over, was vulgar, angry, swore like a trooper, and was non-cooperative, would not cooperate with treatment, would not take the medications properly, and just continued for years to hurt herself and the family until the demons finally killed her. The good news about the profile in YouTube was that her daughter got saved, and so did her grandson. They both turned their lives over to the Lord, which was in fact a miracle. If you know a born-again Christian who has schizophrenia, they are eligible for free counseling services at the Arizona Deliverance Center, 602-636-5800. If the patient wants to be delivered and they are determined to be well, and they will come for prayer and will study under the Word of God and will agree to long-term deliverance sessions, they will be completely and totally healed. See you next time.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.